Hard to believe we're halfway done. Hey guys, before you get started, make sure you click that subscribe button. And if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Hey guys, welcome to our spoiler-free review of the 5th episode of Swamp Thing, Drive All Night. Now, we wanted to remind everybody it's time to save Swamp Thing. Remember, the show has already been canceled, and it's time for us fans to push hard and let WB and DC Universe know how much we care about the show. I've attached a short video below we'd love to see go viral and get shared everywhere to let people know you care, and make sure you use that Save Swamp Thing hashtag. Well, let's dig in. This was really another great episode of the series. The show continues to step up some of the horror elements, and this episode was no exception. One of the best parts about this episode was we got a lot of Swamp Thing himself. We spent quite a bit of solitary time with him in the swamp, and we saw an expansion of his understanding of what he's become and the use of his powers. The aspect of him being the spirit of the swamp really comes to bear in this episode. A large portion of this episode covers Alec discovering his ability to commune with the swamp and all that the swamp knows. This isn't an easy process, and there is one particularly nightmaric scene that nearly pushes Alex over the edge. One of the things you see a good bit of after his solo time is the Phantom Stranger. It's a pretty interesting take on the character. I'm not totally convinced this is meant to be an exact comic book version, but overall, I really liked how they used the character. And Macon Blair did a really good job of pulling, maybe a Yoda-style interpretation of the character. I look forward to see where they're going with him. Ironically, we celebrated his first comic book appearance this week, so weird coincidence. Maria Sutherland also plays a huge part in this episode. She is a complete mess. As we've seen, she's a person overwhelmed with that grief of a mother that will do anything to be with her daughter again. This plays the central role in this episode, and her relationship with Susie gets rather intense. At this point, Susie is living with the Sutherlands as somewhat of an adopted kid, and this goes over very poorly with some of the supernatural forces at play. Through the episode, we do get an idea of what kind of zealot-like dedication Maria has for her cause, including self-sacrifice. Additionally, Shauna's spirit is clearly not what Maria thinks it is, or maybe she doesn't care. Either way, the spirit of Shauna is corrupt and really does in portions of this episode appear evil. Some of the scenes involving Shauna and Susie are just Linda Blair creepy. There's also a big expansion of Abby's story and a deeper understanding of the tragedy that shaped her life and played a huge part of her backstory. As they talk about in the summary, a ghost from her past emerges from the swamp, quite literally, and flat out confronts Abby about her involvement in her death. If you've seen the previous episodes, you know what I'm talking about. More importantly, later in the episode, we get a full breakdown of the death of Shauna, and it really does not go the way you may think it does. Shauna's fate seems to be playing directly into this evil that we hear is coming from Madame Xanadu. One of my favorite parts of the show is the budding Blue Devil storyline. Daniel thinks he may have done his part after helping Abby in the last episode, and starts exploring the possibility of whether he can leave the town. Progress in this character is quite slow, but we get a huge tease this week, and we actually get to see the mask. As you can tell, I'm a pretty big Blue Devil fan, so I'm really excited to see where this goes. Overall, this was a fun episode, and it was pretty darn good. I do have one problem though. We're halfway through, and so many things appear to be coming right at us. Are we even going to get a chance to finish all this stuff? The tone in this episode moves around quite a bit, so you get the vibe that it's starting to move forward with more velocity. Hopefully, this won't matter, but I really don't want some major hanging threads left over at the end of the season, or worse, we get a whole season teasing Blue Devil, and we never get to see him. Overall, I give this episode a 7 out of 10. I'll be there for the next episode. I hope you will be too. And don't forget, save Swamp Thing. If you like this video, make sure you press like below, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.